The first story. Whoa, what is that? Look at my phone. That's weird. What is that on the ceiling? Weird. Okay.
That's just a light.
That's just a light. Lay down.
Yeah.
So the first story was about a cat, right? I know that one was kind of spooky, but it's good. You give me something, subject, and I have to somehow fit it into the story. So let's recap. The first story was about a man who got into a car accident, right? Because it was storming outside, and he ran into a very fancy gate with a big H on it, right? And he tried to buzz into the manor, and he didn't get any answer. So he noticed when he went back to his car that his phone was dead. So he buzzed it again. And then the big giant gates creaked open. And he walked a mile down to the manor. And the butler answered the door. I don't know why y'all think that word is so funny. The butler. So then, can we help you, sir? Yeah. I had an accident down the road. Could I use your phone to call a tow truck? It would be really helpful. And then he lets him in the foyer.
What's a foyer?
The foyer is the entrance area of a home. We have one. Every home has one. Some are bigger than others. The little area right there by the front door. Now, he goes into the house, and there is a home phone set up in the foyer. In this home, it's very elaborate, definitely giving you like 1920s Art Deco vibes, but contemporary. I know you don't know what none of that means, but tomorrow mommy will show you. It's a part of interior design. Anyway, we digress. So he starts clicking the rotary phone. It's like an old school phone. Okay, I can't tell you what time period this is. It's probably like not now. Okay, because they got digital phones now. This is like back in older times. Then
They had like wooden phones?
No, it wasn't wooden, but it wasn't a cell phone. That's the point I'm trying to make. It was a house phone. So anyway, then there was a loud thunderclap outside. And all the lights went off in the mansion. And the man kind of got spooked out for a second. And he's like, hello. Remember, the butler disappeared because he was going to make the tea. So he just stood there in the foyer in the pitch dark, hearing the rain hit against the windows. When all of a sudden, out of the darkness, there was 2 piercing eyes coming closer to him. And that's right, it was the cat.
It was like walking eyes closer to the man.
Yes. And the cat came and brushed up against his leg like cats do. And then it shuffled into where the butler went. Okay, we're going to assume that's the kitchen, right? Because that's where they're making the tea. And then shortly after, the butler comes out with a candelabra and a tray.
What's a candelabra?
A candle holder.
Oh.
He goes, oh, it happens. The lights flicker out sometimes when the storms are really bad. I'm going to have to go trick the generator to get the lights back on. So the butler ushers the man into the kitchen, and then he goes, I will be right back. But before he leaves, he goes, oh, I didn't know you had a cat. And the butler turns around and goes, we don't have a cat here. Dun, dun, dun. And then he was like, what? So the butler leaves for a second. So he's sitting there sipping his tea. And what happens next? A tall, dark, handsome man enters the kitchen. He has dark eyes and dark hair.
I thought you said he had brown eyes.
Yeah, it's dark brown. So then he enters the kitchen and he goes, "Welcome to my manor. My servant was mentioning that you were having some issues with your vehicle up the road." And he goes, "Yes, I do apologize for disturbing you at this time of hour, but as you can see, the weather is really bad outside. Thank you so much for letting me use your phone. The tow truck will be here soon." And he goes, "Please, enjoy your tea. Can I join you?" And he goes, "By all means, this is your home." He sits down and he starts chatting with the man. Somewhere along the conversation, he goes, "You know, the funniest thing happened. Back in the foyer, while I was waiting on your servant to reappear, I saw a cat, and the cat came up to me. And when I asked about the cat, your servant said that you didn't have any pets." And then the man goes, "We don't." And he goes, "Surely I saw a cat. It came right up to me." And he goes, "We don't have any cats here." So then the man was puzzled. How could he feel, see, and hear a cat and the cat not be? So the gentleman who owns the manor began to explain to him that what he saw was not a cat, but indeed was the man he was speaking to. And he goes, "How is that possible?" And he goes, "Because I am the magician." And he goes, "The what?" "The magician." He goes, "I have made a long career of doing many magical things." And he goes, "I can teach you." And he goes, "I'm not too interested in learning how to do that, but I'm fascinated to know more." And he goes, "Wait right here." The man leaves the room for a moment, and when he returns with a very old book. A book that looks like it has been read many, many times. The cover of the book was leather, and the pages were worn as if they were read many, many times. He sits back at the bar of the kitchen with the man, and he goes, "There is very, very special knowledge in this book. I could teach you what I know. Let me show you." So he opens the book, and the man looks at the book, and he goes, "Wow, this book is very old." And he goes, "Yes, I've had it for a very long time." And he goes, "This book looks like it should be in a museum. It certainly looks older than you." And he goes, "No, no, I've had this book for centuries." The man is confused at this point and also kind of scared. Anyway, the gentleman turns to a very specific page in the book and he tells him, if you read the excerpt on this page, you will be able to change into any animal that you want, just like I did. And he goes, really? So he looks at the incantation and he begins to read what's on the page. And as he finishes the paragraph, guess what happens next? The page starts to emit a light of energy and starts sucking the man into the page. Then
scary.
the camera peers or pans to the book, like you could look and see what happens. And when you look at the page, you see the man who was standing or sitting next to the owner of the house. And it looks like he's trying to escape the book, but he's not a person anymore. He is simply a drawing. It's a sketch of the man that was standing there with the messed up car, and he's looking like he's trying to escape the book. And then the owner of the house closes the book and he goes, I got another one.